Hey guys, it's Marco again. Today with a Kel'thuzad kill on Mythic difficulty. This is more of a padding boss, and DPS here doesn't matter too much. Usually with the better AoE DPSers in the guild, you will end up doing less damage. For this fight I was playing Frost, because our DPS composition feels better with more consistent Frost damage. The whole point of this fight is to be vocal, do the interrupts, and balance your DPS inside of the phylactery and outside of it. On the screen you can see my log for this fight. I did alright DPS wise, but I had some bad mistakes mechanics wise, and you will see about that in a minute. First things first, I forgot to take my finesse conduit for counterspell, and my interrupt order has been changed. I always manually mark the third ad with star and interrupt it. Even though I'm running Unrelenting Cold, I throw both Frozen Orb and Mirrors of Torment at the start of the fight, just because throwing it instantly will make my Frozen Orb come off cooldown for the first set of ads, which died pretty quickly. So waiting with the Frozen Orb will make me lose DPS on the ads. Whenever you see the particle effect happening in the green mist, you know that you should start casting your Blizzard there, because the ads are gonna spawn.
Lint?
And now the spikes are spawning together with the ads, and I throw my Frozen Orb, keep my Blizzard uptime, and use my Ice Lances.
Clean the healing CDs for a bit. Stop, full stop.
We're stopping the DPS on the boss, we need to kill the tank ads, I mark mine, and I interrupt it.
Let's kill tank ads before we kill boss.
And then I just throw Blizzard on the devoted ones. I don't want to waste my Frozen Orb because we're gonna go in the intermission phase and I need to have a good amount of DPS there.
Let's go, boys. Lefty.
Now my interrupt order in this phase has been changed and I'm the first interrupt on the Reaver. In this intermission phase, you mainly want to focus on the abominations, because Reavers have quite a bit of a low HP, so you have to stop on the Reavers whenever it's called, and focus on the ones which are outside of the raid. That's gonna cost you some DPS, but you have to do it. The communication is the most important part of this fight, so just focus on your raid leader's calls, and you can neglect your DPS a bit. I did a mistake here by interrupting the Reaver, and she was just about to die, and you'll see how this mistake backfired on me because I didn't have counterspell conduit. Bam, the tank ads are incoming, I have the third one, I mark it with the star, but now I don't have the interrupt, so we took a bit of raid damage because of it.
Here we help the cow one. Lint is
I kinda lost my focus at this moment and I forgot to throw my Blizzard immediately on the devoted ones. I popped my Icy Veins and threw my Frozen Orb as soon as it was off cooldown, because this is a big AoE part of the fight.
What?
And as you can see, my Icy Veins is already at 50% of its cooldown.
You still can skull. You gotta use the defensive.
I, as a Frost Mage, always throw Blizzard on the devoted ones, even if the tank ad is up, so I can slow them by 70 or 60%. My Icy Veins is off cooldown here, and I decided not to use it because the ads are about to die, and the Kel'thuzad is also about to die.
Good call, nice.
I knew that something was fishy, so while we were waiting for the Kel'thuzad to spawn the ads, I checked my conduits and I see that I didn't have my counterspell conduit. So at the moment I'm a bit tilted, and I think that I focused way too much on my cross Reaver. And the Reaver died because we focused it a bit too much. But overall we had a bit too much damage in this intermission phase.
I probably need to chill a bit downstairs soon.
No, keep going downstairs. And kill everything upstairs. You really gotta keep going downstairs.
Go.
Sadly the Reaver resurrected, but we have more than enough time to kill this low HP mob.
Now we're gonna get more.
And unluckily we got one more Reaver spawn.
Oh, this one is not empowered, it's good, it's good.
And it wasn't empowered, so we
Okay,
could
fine.
still interrupt it.
Yes. Alright.
Yeah, we need to be careful downstairs that we're not just surrounding.
Now,
the,
again,
minibus.
I don't have
back
my
up,
counter spell for the
back up,
third
Really can't do
ad,
much.
Take it, Jimmy.
and I couldn't interrupt it, so the cast went off, and I didn't even call it. And again, I got tilted, and I accidentally pressed the demonic gate.
Spikes.
We're gonna have the biggest set of the ads now,
Good, make sure
and
and
this
the
is going to be
unity
the
is
last one in the whole fight. So I prepared my icy
Join the
veins for it,
unity into
through
my
my
spell.
blizzard, and I'm just casting
Respect
frozen
as well.
orb whenever it's off cooldown. But I only got one frozen orb. We deleted these ads super fast.
You need one thing, you need one thing.
We got another tank ads, I mark mine with star, interrupted, and that's all good. We're gonna have the last big pile of the voted ones, and I should have already
take
through my
guys
blizzard,
and wait for that,
just
let
to
each
additionally slow them. I throw Rune of Power together with Frozen Orb.
My stun and kill that.
And I think that I made a mistake by not immediately casting my Icy Veins after it got off
Now we
cooldown.
need more damage
I
on
would
boss.
increase my Rune of Power window by 6 seconds. And the
keep
Icy
leaving
Veins would
boss
be
while
back
we kill
up
these
for the
tankers.
intermission phase.
Keep hitting
Back
boss.
up on.
I just move them top right.
Yeah.
Up.
Don't interrupt from this point, we need a submission.
Who's soaking? Someone help
I'm
soak.
immediately casting Blizzard on
Wait,
these
my
devoted
timer's
ones,
off, sorry.
so they
I thought that
move
was
a lot more slowly. I pop my Icy Veins because the intermission
Someone
is gonna
stop,
start
please,
quite
someone
soon.
stop.
And now I'm looking at where's my Reaver,
Shake,
and
shake.
I completely missed the interrupt on the Reaver, and that might have costed us a death in the raid.
Someone else.
Thankfully someone had my back, even though I didn't call it, but that was a complete mistake from me. I really thought that the Reaver is next to me,
Alright,
but it
Kill these
happens
apples,
and
guys.
we actually survived.
kill apples.
Chill downstairs, chill downstairs.
Kill downstairs now. Or we'll get respawns.
And this is the easiest
Right now.
phase of the fight. You just
we got
pop
one, so
everything,
it's
you
not
pop a
exciting.
potion,
I
you
got
pop a
we
time
lost
warp,
it.
and the boss is
Make sure
gonna
range
melt
that you
super
kick.
fast.
Gather, innovate burns if you can.
If your
Good.
DPS is
It's
good
gonna be
enough,
Genix
you
and
won't even
Scout.
need to focus on the ads at all.
And tanks, of course. Good. Now make sure you watch frontal and range kick. Watch the frontal and range kick.
As you can see, the
Watch
boss
the
is
ads,
already
yeah.
at 20% HP, you don't even need to interrupt anything now, he's practically dead. And that's it for the fight. Our whole raid team was alive, so it was super easy to do this. And I'm not very happy with my performance here, just because of my execution errors. I hope that you'll learn from my mistakes and not to repeat them in your raid. Thank you for watching, and a big thanks to my Patreons for the continuous support even during these contentless times. If you need coaching or Discord access to my channel, feel free to check out my Patreon, linked in description. And of course, until next time, take care.